What's going on, ladies and gents? Rocco Brown from mygamingjourney.com. And if you're new here, we are taking a look at one of my recent 1v1s. So I am a Gold 3 player in rank 1v1s at the time of this recording. Ideally, I simply want to evaluate the gameplay, look at some of the things I may have done right, some of the things I've probably done wrong, and things I can improve on to get better. Essentially, that's where you come in. You can leave comments in the section below, give me your thoughts, etc. But let's dive into the game and we're going to go through it together. So, I primarily play House Lancaster. That's primarily my go-to and my main save at this point in time. I also play English. I can play a little bit of French, a little bit of Japanese, and a little bit of Ottoman. But primarily, House Lancaster is my go-to. So started off with our um 7 workers or 7 villagers on food. Looks like I put the one over on gold. Kind of the split I go for, essentially a 3 on gold, up to about 13 villagers in total, the remainder on food, and then the age from there. So starting off was scouting around, trying to get some vision on the map. I know my opponent is a Rus player, and naturally, yet again, I'm only speaking from gold knowledge, right? So I'm not going to have insight that a lot of pros may be able to provide for you. It's literally just me providing my insight as to what I have and what I work with as a gold 3 player at the time of this recording. So one thing that I am not a fan of with Rus, um, a lot of Roost players nowadays that I see, you know what I mean, whether that be in the 1v1s, even team games. Not a huge fan of having a bunch of their different priests, the ones who are on horseback, picking up relics, and then of course them not taking the relics back to base. This is neither here nor there. I don't believe this happened in this game, but that's one of the things that I don't like, because then they'll carry the relics around within their army, have a bunch of different priests on the hotkeys essentially, and then convert. So anytime you try to engage, essentially you're running at the risk of them converting your army. So just personal experience and things that I've experienced thus far. So here we are. We only got about 4 sheep at this point in time. One thing that I'm struggling with right now is basically getting my splits down in a timely fashion while still moving my scout around. I'm doing shift clicking a little bit more. Like I do that normally, but just when it comes to splitting with the House of Lancaster. So you see my scout never stop. There are times I may accidentally shift click and shift click him into the enemy base or elsewhere, you know, and or just have him stop and be immobile while I'm doing my splits. So what I normally do is I will age up with 3 to build up the House of Lancaster. I'll throw 3 on stone, 3 on wood, and then continue to rally directly onto wood from there, up to about 8. So we'll see what ends up happening here, because I don't remember what transpired. But as of now, what's our sheep count looking like? 6, 7 in total. So we ended up with about 7 sheep. And things haven't been too hectic at this point in time. So I do need to move the sheep back or not. You take them to the town center or not. But looks like I kept the one with me. So age up happens. I know I need to get back and scout just to get an idea of what's going on back over on his side of the house. And prayerfully I do that sooner than later. So age up is almost complete. Naturally I'm going to build that first manor near our Lancaster Castle, you know, just for the added food and wood income. But in addition to that, you know, just the added I guess we'll call it arrow damage or quote-unquote tower damage that the House of Lancaster provides all of the manors that surround, right? So, aged up there, drop down this manor. We found a few more sheep. And I know I'm headed back over to scout, because at this point in time, for me personally, depending on the civ that I'm up against, and not so much the civ, the opponent. If the opponent is starting to get aggressive and I'm scouting, in other words, if I see production build, it's going up. So if I see archery ranges, stables, barracks, etc. I'm going to, instead of putting the additional workers or villagers on gold, I'm going to immediately start putting them on food. The reason being is because I need a little bit more food for my own production buildings to in turn rush out my actual units as well, right? So naturally you need wood for production buildings, but the reason I say I throw it on food is because I already have at that point in time roughly about 8 on wood, and I only have 3 on food. So if I know they're trying to get aggressive, or if I see that there's a possibility of aggressiveness, then I'm going to turn around, throw a few more on food roughly up to 5, maybe 6 villagers, depending, and then I'll start rushing down and putting down the counter production building to whatever I see that they're going with. So if it's archers, I'll throw down a stable. If it's barracks, I'll throw down the archery range. You get the point, right? So at this point in time, no aggression. At least I'm not seeing any production buildings that's signaling aggression. And at this stage, I'm just going to start rallying back over to gold. So try to get up at least 6 manners before I start the age up process, but nothing too crazy on that end, right? So what I could have didn't even need to throw down that production building, to be honest. Archery range, could have just threw down a tower over at the stone, would have been my thought process, right? And then just got back to being greedy to essentially start getting more and more manners. One thing that I'll probably start implementing more, to be honest with you, is the stone. So normally I'll throw 3 on stone, but I probably could be a little bit more efficient, I would say, and throw 4 on stone, because there are times when I may be lacking a bit of stone. Just in my personal experience with some of my games, I'll lack a bit of stone, and then I have to wait until I get a little bit more stone to be able to throw up another manor. So I think 4 villagers on stone may be a little bit more pleasant as opposed to the 3. You know what I mean? So dropped off a few more sheep, headed back up to enemy roost base, and we're going to see what happens.
Yes, sir.
Coming out a few archers. One thing I tend to do as well is I'll tend to normally get wheelbarrow and the upgrade for, so let me do something really quickly. The wheelbarrow and the horticulture, just primarily because I seem to float gold at times when I'm throwing roughly about 10 on gold. Alright, so I'll start floating gold. So I'll normally get the wheelbarrow and the horticulture just because neither of those require food, right? So it'll require, you know, gold as part of the upgrade, but it won't require food, and naturally the 2 things that you need as part of your aging process will be gold and food, right? So normally I wait until after I go above the 600 gold, because I don't ever remove those workers from the gold. I'll just let them continue to rack up gold. I could be a little bit more efficient and probably remacro a bit, right? Take a lot of those villagers off gold and start pushing them onto food, just to improve with the age up time, which is also a possibility. But I noticed I still wasn't seeing any production building, so what ends up happening is, you see, I ended up getting the wheelbarrow because I approached that 600 mark and I wasn't nowhere close to what I needed for food wise, and then I believe I dropped horticulture as well. That's kind of what we got going on at this point in time. Looks like I dropped down the barracks, I dropped down the archery range naturally. I believe the thought process when I was going for the age was to go claim the gold in the middle of the map, just because that was the biggest portion of gold on this particular map. And if I remember correctly, I do age up and go there with the white tower, but that's neither here nor there right now. We just got our wheelbarrow done.
To work.
The wall up on that side, and let me stop right here. One thing I should be doing actively a lot more, I'm focused on my base. Great. I need to have him scouting more just so I can see what's going on, right? So a big con here is that my scout is still a little bit too inactive, right? I'm building workers. As you can see, I got 10 in queue. Don't be like me, be better, naturally. Don't have a lot of units at this point in time, because, Yet again, I didn't scout any production buildings, but I also have not been inside of his base in quite a bit of time. So here we are. I got a little back on in the mix, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? He's pro scouting, so he's getting all the deer everywhere, which means he's going to have a lot of safe food. I'm naturally not contesting, so that's something that I could do a lot better myself, just contesting the pro scouts as well. I believe he was platinum 1 at the time of this recording also, so I am shift clicking around. He went up to age 3. I have not aged as of yet. Getting close though. And I'm sitting on a ton of gold. I see a bunch of production buildings. And I have idle villagers, which is never fun, right? So I believe I go and build a white tower as I mentioned on that gold. Or if I build something somewhere, idle gold villagers, idle wood villagers. I think I'm looking for where I wanted to put the white tower. Yeah, that's what it was. So I didn't go mid, I opted to go in the back just to protect and try to defend from some harassment. Was not the game that I put it up in the middle. So here we are to go and try to scout a little bit more. Seeing horse archers. Definitely no wood, because all of my wood villagers are, unfortunately, building the white tower, which isn't a problem, but it doesn't do you any good when there's no wood to build anything else. So, 13 on food, 10 on gold. Trying to get an idea of what my man's doing up here. 11 minute and 20-second age up, 21. No upgrades. I'm getting a few economic upgrades, it looks like, at this moment in time. And no real army at this point in time either. One thing that I tend to do is I'll put a tower down pretty much at each of my resources. Sometimes two, depending on how many villagers I have actually working on that respective tower or respective resource, just so I can have multiple people getting the tower. But I do see this coming, so let's see how well I do or do not defend. Protected. Let's bring that back.
Do they may?
Did I lose those workers over there? I hope not. Over back to the ones gathering food, but we will see. I think I do. Sure I do. I'm going back over to the what's it called? For him to see if he's committing. Got those in the tower. Got a few kills, lost more than I needed to. Cleaning up a few of those. I'm getting some veterancy upgrades, getting some upgrades just in general. Look at these villagers standing still and not gathering stone. Don't know why. Where's my stone? Yeah, my stone is gone, so I need to put them on some more stone. It doesn't look like I've done. Like at this point in time, I was looking for a stone, and I did not find any stone to literally re-macro them to. So threw them on gold. It looks like So severely lacking in production buildings, in my humble opinion. I should have a lot more. This is something else at this stage. I'm literally 2 barracks, 2 archery, 3 archery, 3 barracks, 2 archery ranges. I'm also stuck at, and I won't say stuck, when I'm sitting at 6 manors, when I also should have made it a priority to literally upgrade these manors, which I have not done either, to get up to 9. So severely lacking on scouting, trying to get out on the map and actually get some relics now. What's our upgrades looking like, if anything? Finally getting the manor technology. Trying to get inside there. Like, why do I not see where he disappeared to? And then they were down at my base, which was not fun, pleasant, or cool. How did I end up responding here? I don't remember. But we will see. Definitely not repairing the gate, because I knew if I tried to go down there and repair it, it wouldn't have did me any good. Because there were horse archers down there, right? So it wasn't going to do me anything worthwhile.
What should he do?
So White Tower. Which came in handy, but I'm losing my cold villagers. In the least bit. Caused some pressure there, and none of them ended up in the tower. Which is crazy. Okay, no, 5 didn't come in the tower. So lose all of those villagers. I got 1 relic at the stage of the game. I don't think my priest survived. Okay, no, he did. So it looks like I got another one coming in as well. Still no more production buildings, ladies and gents. Production is lacking tremendously. Still 3 barracks, still 2 archery ranges, nothing. Actually up here still causing a little ruckus. Archers shooting houses crazy. Transpiring, but we did get a lot of horses knocked out and out the way down here. Doesn't mean much because he actually killed villagers of mine. I didn't kill villagers on his end, right? Unfortunately. So I killed some army, but didn't do much for me at that point in time. It's like, am I adding production or am I adding manors? Manors. So still no additional production at this point in time. So much from literally just from the outside looking in. What do we have so far? We only have 35 economy. We lost probably about 7-8 workers at this point in time. 18 minutes into the game, 35 workers, nasty business, right? 7 out of 9 manors. We're getting some manors up, but we're still lacking in the production category.
Odd swinker have been made.
Let's just build over there. Oh, going back to get food. Okay. Got it. Okay. And then here we are trying to make our way up to the front. So didn't put a... Oh, now we're dropping more production. That's a plus. What are we dropping? We have... So we're about to have 6 archery ranges in total. 6 barracks in total. We have 2 blacksmiths, so we still are pumping out and getting the upgrades, which is nice. Upgraded this tower. I probably should have put 2 down just to start that particular process to protect more villagers. Still no stone. So we have a problem there. We made it up to the 9 matters, but we still have no stone, which would be great for stone walls, to say the least. But hasn't taken place, right? Trying to move out with a very pitiful army, which is not ideal. And we're essentially about to be 2-2 with everything. So it's kind of where we're at this point in time. Nothing crazy, nothing special, but this is the reality. 14 on gold, 6 on wood, 10 on food, 0 villagers on stone. I do want to take a quick pause really quickly, and I want to take a look on this side. He's already at 58 workers, right? Just to put that into perspective. So 58 workers to mine, and look at his army. Look at this. Look at the production. Look at everything he has going on compared to your boy. What are we about to do with that? Nothing. Nothing at all, right? Nasty business. 2 relics. And this is pretty much, I would assume, the beginning of the end at that point in time, right? Because I don't think we have much that's coming. And I literally, if I was going to fight, I should have fought closer towards our outpost, right? Shouldn't have been fighting anywhere else at that point. I'm literally still riding the gold, which is another stupid thing, another con that needs to be improved upon. Look at this. Trying to over, which is not ideal, and I'm now donating villagers. Donating. Same way I was donating units. So he's about to swing around, and I still have not changed the route. Villagers are still streaming over to the freaking gold. And I tap out from there, right? So we definitely didn't take an L. Things that definitely need to be improved, right? So I can't take a look at the map, unfortunately. Is anything going to go back? There we are, to the main screen. So things to definitely improve upon, the things I definitely want to take away, right? Number 1 is constant villager production. That needs to happen. I was behind over 15, I say probably about 18 different workers at that point in time, deficit wise. So I was not producing villagers, number 1. Number 2, I need to be more active with my scout. My scout was not maneuvering and looking more around the base. I had times where I was just too idle. So I need to be more active with actually looking at the base and moving around the base. Number 3, I need to make sure rally points for villagers, right? When things are getting a little hairy, I can't keep rallying to a place where they keep dying, right? Another thing, more outposts on the respective resources. I don't have the most amazing reaction time at this point in time, so outposts tend to help me just in the sense of if I start getting raided, I can pop my villagers inside. So more outposts, right? Naturally, outposts only hold 5 villagers, so more outposts to hold the additional number of villagers that I need for safety purposes. What else? Some things that I did good that I struggle with, right? Like actually getting a chapel down or a whatever produces the priests and actually getting out and collecting relics. That's pretty hard for me personally because it's just not the way my brain works in the sense of age 3, get out on the map and start getting relics. So I did that pretty decently. Didn't get a lot of relics. I ended up getting 2, but at least I walked away with 2 relics. Another con, more production buildings a lot quicker, right? I definitely need that. I had a total of 5 production buildings up until like the 19-minute mark of the game. No bueno. Not good at all. A pro, I ended up getting upgrades, right? So economic upgrades, I would say I got my veterancy upgrades. I got my, just a basic attack, basic defensive upgrades. All of that, right? But it doesn't do you any good if you don't have a big enough army for those upgrades to make sense. I don't even know if he had all of the upgrades, but just sheer number of units that he had, he was definitely able to overwhelm me, whether I had the upgrades or not. Right. So just some of the different things to take away. That's where we're at. That's what took place. And that's all I got. So until next time, ladies and gents, pleasure as always. Appreciate you tuning in. Feel free, definitely comment below, leave your thoughts, and I am going to continue to post up these evaluation videos, is what I like to refer to them as, right? Just give my thoughts, pros, cons, and my limited gold knowledge at this point in time as to, things that I can improve upon to get better. Everybody take care. See you again soon. Feel free to comment, follow, share, subscribe, all of the good stuff if that's something that you want to do. If not, feel free not to do so either. I'm cool either way. Everybody take care.